You couldn't do this with ordinary watercolor, you'd have to break out the gouache.
Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Diane and my passion is painting and creating nature-inspired watercolors in my studio, which are easy for you to do too. I share all my paintings with you on YouTube, and on our website dianeantone.com you can find free downloadable sketches for all the videos to help you make the most of your painting journey. And if you'd like a little bit more, we also have channel memberships with loads of perks for you to enjoy. So welcome on board, click subscribe and turn on notifications, and let's learn to paint watercolor.
Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Diane here. Hope everyone's feeling well and happy. Still in a heat wave at the moment, so expecting over 34, 35 degrees today, which is not much fun. Hopefully the air conditioning is going to help with that. But anyway, so today I thought I would paint a design inspired by my 365 Days of Art in Nature book by Lorna Scobie. I'll put a link in the description below for this book because I think it's a great book when you don't know what to paint. And of course, I don't know what to paint. Does anyone ever? But anyway, I'm going to do a twist on this. This is my... by the way, this is my Kuretake set of 48 different colours from Japan. Kuretake make all sorts of things. This is the box that it comes in. It's a cardboard box, which I think is really nice because saves on materials, doesn't it? We don't need a metal container for everything, especially not when you've got such a lot of lovely colours here. And really, they are great. We've got a mixture of transparent colours and some opaque colours, semi-opaque colours. We've got some metallics down here, and all the normal colours that you need in a normal set, things like, you know, the cadmiums and the cobalts and the ultramarines and all those things, they're all here, and they all paint out really, really well. So for approximately $50 or something like that, you can get this set from Amazon. And I'm going to be using it quite a bit because it's the reason mainly, apart from the fact that the colours are really good, is that I can see what I'm looking at. It's much easier to navigate through a set like this than it is to navigate through something like this where the paints are all very, very small. I'm not used to using small amounts of paint. I'm more in the realm of using either something like this, where this is also a good way of painting, and I do this a lot too, squeezing out from a tube different colours that I'm going to use into the spaces in my ceramic palette. Could be one like this, could be one like this, could be a plastic one. And then the other thing that I also have traditionally used a lot for doing most of my paintings over the years while I've been painting. And I'm just going to show it to you for those of you who haven't seen a video with this system yet. Oops, here we go. I use what we call a butcher's tray, which is just a large, you can see it's quite big, a large white tray. And I normally, this is not the way it usually is, but I normally arrange my tube paints around the outside edge in blobs, and then I do the mixing in the middle here. So that's what I traditionally do, but I have found that for the purposes of these videos, it's easier for everyone to use a smaller palette and a neater and tidier system. We've been doing this for coming on for 2 years now, so believe it or not, 60,000 subscribers, it's amazing. And very happy. Thank you ever so much, everybody, for your wonderful support. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to do something a bit like this, but we're going to do it in a sort of upside down kind of way. So I've got a sheet here of Hahnemühle bamboo mixed media paper. It is actually 90% bamboo and 10%, what else? 10% cellulose. I think it is. It's nice paper. I like it a lot for this kind of thing. So we're going to pop that there, and then I'm going to sit down and stop yakking. Joint's not bending today. I think I've just discovered I might have an egg intolerance because I wasn't feeling very good this morning, and I had eggs last night for dinner, and I don't know. I don't think there's going to be much left in my diet before very long. I'll be living on boiled rice and cabbage. So in front of me, I'm just going to turn my camera around so you can see. Just a sec. I have a little array of pot plants in different pots. Nothing terribly exciting, but that's what I have there. And so what I'm going to do with you today is I'm going to draw. I have to be very careful with this camera, but I think we're okay. I'm going to draw the pots first. And I've got just an ordinary pencil here. This is just a Norris school pencil. Give myself enough space above for the plant to go in, and give myself enough space below for the pots. I'm just going to push this out of the way for the minute. You know how it is when we draw plants in pots? You sort of think about the plant, or in a vase, think about the plant or the flowers, and then, generally speaking, for me anyway, I sort of a last minute thought, what is it going to be in? And then you bung in some kind of pot at the last minute. So anyway, so what I'm going to do today is we're going to have fun designing some pots. So imagine that you're a potter and not a painter, right? And just draw some nice shapes. You can either do them with the lip curling down like that, or you could do it with the with it curving up. I normally do it curving down, but I'm just suddenly thinking, why not break with tradition and do it as if I was looking at it from above? So as if I was standing up and looking down. No, wait a minute, that's not right. The other way around, as if I was lower down, as if I was a child and I'm looking up at the pot. So the edge of the pot would tend to be just slightly curved up like that. I think that might be more interesting. And then I'm going to do more pots. It goes against the grain, that does, but that's a good thing. Often when you're painting, it's a good idea to break with your own traditions. So we're going to do a tall one here. Vary the bottom position. Don't make them all in a straight line along the front there. So let's do this one like that, a tall one. And back here we could have one that's more or less cylindrical, perhaps like that. They don't have to be perfect. Then in the front, we need some overlapping. So maybe here I want to do a nice flat one, like that, nice flat one. And then just here we'll keep the top fairly straight, like that, and it could have a rim like that. I'm trying hard here not to worry about perspective, and not to worry too much either about the arrangement, because at the end of the day it doesn't matter. So there's one there with a slightly narrower top than bottom, and we just have one more overlapping here. Okay, so there's our arrangement, and I would suggest that you put one big one at the back and then a row of slightly medium-sized ones and then smaller ones in front, more or less kind of thing. So sort of working on that sort of arrangement. And then just want to rub out the lines behind so it doesn't look like they're all transparent. That one there. And then what I want to do is to decorate these pots. So I am a potter, and now I'm about to paint my pots prettily. and embellish them. And then when that's done, we'll put the plants in. Okay, so revert to type. Here we are, is our paints, and I might use some of the more opaque colours for this, perhaps. And when I did this one from this book, I changed the colour of the pot in the background. It was a bit light brown, and I made it a bit darker. So we could do that. But anyway, let's just see how it goes. And we could also embellish our pots with drawn-in designs if we want to. So probably the best thing to do is to go ahead and paint a background colour first for each of them, whatever colour you want to do. This one's a sort of, this is, I think, oh God, what's it called? Yellow ochre, that's it. This is yellow ochre. So we'll just do that first. And then I think probably we want some nice bright ones. Let's go for a nice red. And I'm not mixing these colours, just to show you how nice they actually are. They are, aren't they? They're lovely colours in this set, just straight out of the pan. And you can practice, you know, what's the word? Here's an orange. This is like a cadmium orange. Just practice your water control with this exercise. This is quite like the raw yellow ochre, a little bit warmer, but a bit more transparent also. So it's got a certain amount of, you can see that, can't you? But I'm going to put colours on top of that, so it's really just a background. And if you want to make a darker orange with this set, you're going to have to mix something. So I'll just grab a little dish. And put some red in there, and then some orange. That will give me a nice bright orange, which there isn't in the set of Kuretake colours. But there are very, very good reds, so you don't have to try particularly hard to get a nice orange. Just do that. And then let's have one that's yellow. Maybe, perhaps it ought to be more of an opaque yellow. So we'll pick up some, perhaps we'll pick up some white. I've got some, this is PH, what's his name? PH Martin, Doctor. We'll make that a bit more opaque, that yellow colour. Like that. And then maybe we'll have, this could be a regular flower pot here, maybe. And this is opaque also, because I've still got some of that white in there. And I'm not going to put any blues in, I don't think, because I think that would probably look a bit weird, but we can use a nice dark red, like that. That's this one here, which is, according to my, that's it, that is maroon. Maroon. And maybe we might go for a dark brown. Is this dark brown? No, that's purple. This is dark brown. Yeah, let's go for a dark brown. Maybe this one. This one quite dark. This little one at the front here, perhaps. They're not going to stay plain. And I'm sort of thinking maybe purple, a darker purple. Let's see. Yeah, how about that? Obviously, the choice of colours is entirely up to you, and that's the great thing about doing something like this, because it doesn't matter if you've got the same paints as me or not. It doesn't matter a jot. So there we are. That's the beginning. We've done the pots first. Now all we have to do is let that dry, and then we can decorate them. And in the meantime, I shall get together my things for doing the decorations. Some things I'm going to paint on, and I'll do that with these, obviously. So I've got for that, this was a size 8 Drawwell Maestro brush, which I used for the background of the pots. And I'm going to probably need to use the number 3, same make, Drawwell, for some of the decorations. This is irrelevant, go away, not needed today. Here I've got a white, a gold, a silver, and a bronze or copper. Don't know what they call that. What do I call it? What do they call it? Bronze. Yes, it is bronze. These come in a set. They are Uniball Signo gel pens. I think I just got these. They're new because I had run out of gold. So I thought, well, I always need white. So you can get those. If you go to my Amazon shop, which is amazon.com/shop/Diane Antone Studio, you will find all the things that I buy from Amazon on there. It's quite handy. We buy a lot from Amazon, not because I'm a great supporter of Amazon. Well, I am a great supporter actually, but I mean, I'm not a great fan, but I have to use it because here in France, and I don't know whether you have the same thing where you live, but here in France, if you order something from another company or from abroad, you have to, first of all, if you order from another company, your delivery might not be reliable, whereas it's always reliable with Amazon. Secondly, if you order from abroad, they charge you €40, which is the same as $40, just for handling the transaction. So you have to pay that on top of whatever it is, no matter how little the value, which is just insane, unless the people in the foreign country have filled out the forms correctly, in which case that doesn't apply. But very often, unfortunately, people do make a mistake on that front, and we've had to send quite a lot of stuff back. My husband got a bill for $1,000 in customs the other day, and he'd ordered half a dozen bars of soap, so that was a big fight. Anyway, these things happen. And now the time is near. I'm going to paint some stripes and circles. Let us, begin. Sit down again. Now, what colour shall I put on here? Let's go for something nice and dark. How about a nice dark purple colour? So I'm mixing a bit of black with this purple. I need a test sheet. A bit more purple. Okay, so I'm going to put some circles on here. Don't have to be perfect. Just in the realm of circledom. And we all know why we're doing this. It's because it's fun. It really is enjoyable. Okay, so that's that one. And what else could we do? One of my pots in front of me has got a crocheted cover, which means it's got all sorts of spots on it because it's crocheted in a multi-coloured, what do they call it when the colour changes as you go through? I've forgotten what that's called. I need to put some water in here. Let that sit for a bit and then that will be reactivated and I might be able to use that. Yes, white. We could have brownish stripes on here. What shall we do? There we are. Let's do this. It's early in the morning today. Today is early. And you have to forgive me if I'm not as verbally communicative as I usually am. Let's put some brighter yellow stripes on this one. And on this one, let's put some vertical lines. This is where the opacity of some of these colours in this set is great, because you couldn't do this with ordinary watercolour. You'd have to break out the gouache. But this is a handy kit because it's got a sort of a semi-gouache. Well, it's probably gouache altogether, but there we are. So that's that. This big one, I'm going to break this colour up a little bit by coming in with a second layer, and then I'm going to use water just to spread that colour out so it kind of makes a natural sort of background, because it'll be the background for a plant when it goes in front. And this red one, what should we do on there? Oh, I don't know. I can't think of something inspiring. Flick through my book. I'm going to have to get up in a minute and stop that tap from dripping. Let's put some open circles here. No, I don't like that. I'm going to make it darker. Yeah, that'll do for that. And then maybe some dots on here. And I think that will probably do, with the exception of maybe just put a bit of shadow underneath that rim. Okay, so that's just fine. So now let's paint our plants. I'm going to switch to just a second, I need to turn the air conditioning on and turn that tap off. Back in a sec. Switching to a number 7 round Drawwell golden brush, and we are going to paint some plants. I suppose probably the best thing to do is to start with the one at the back. And what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to start with some leaves, and I'm just going to use, think of, I don't know, geraniums or something like that, and just put some splotches in for the leaves, and then pick up some red and do a similar kind of thing. I've got geraniums outside the house here. They've done really well this year. We only had 2 plants, but they've been flowering constantly. All summer with the unbelievable weather we've had. So we'll put lots of geranium flowers in the background to make this really break the pot by coming down over the edge there. Oh, bloody cold breeze. Oh, I needed that. Now we'll pick up some of this darker green and drop that in. Leave plenty of spaces because you want this to bleed, hopefully in a way which looks reasonable, we hope. And I need that to come out a bit further, don't we? Paint it right up to the top, go off the top. Okay, and then in front of me also I have got some, it's a agapanthus, is it? I don't know. Anyway, it's got leaves. So if you pick up more than one green on your brush, and then start with the point, and then press a little harder, or if you want to come up from the pot, start lightly and then press and pull out, so like that, you will get some nice variations of greens in there. And if you want it to be yet darker, pick up something even darker and just drop that in lightly where it's already dark, and let that do its magic. I'm going to leave that like that. That's good enough, I think. Then also in front of me, I've got some that are kind of like that. And then because we've got it's in front of this, so this is where we really need the opaque colour. And I'm going to use this white. I think that might be a bit too runny, so I'll probably have to go in here. Or probably actually what I will do here, because I need to put some light colours there. I'm going to literally go to the gouache. Now I'm going to have to squeeze some out, I think, to make that work, because this has dried off a bit. This is the way, this is the way it works. This is the way you work, isn't it? Isn't this the way you work? Certainly is the way I work. I've got Arteza here. Not Malteser, Arteza. This is an opaque green, because it's gouache. And should be some yellow here somewhere. There we go. Artesa yellow. Mix that together. And then we want a little bit of brown in there to knock that back a bit. And then, with any luck, I should be able to put some leaves over the pot. And once you've got a bit of gouache, you can mix up a darker green into it, and that will work. When that's dry, we can come back with a little bit more lighter colour and deal with any issues we have there. Now I'm going to, get my small brush, and I'm going to pick up some dark green, I think. And from here, we're going to bring up some stems. Because you want a variety, don't you, of thick stems, dark stems, light stems. So we'll do that sort of behind this nice chunky one in the front there. And then I'm going to get some quite loose, and I'm going to paint in some round leaves like that. Lots of water. Vary the colour a bit, make some of them a bit more bluish. Make them overlap. Make some of them a bit pinky grey as well. All sorts of different colours. And put some smaller ones down here. And if this is looking a bit messy, don't worry, we will sort that out later once it's finished being in the growth phase. And let me think, what next? We go for a bigger brush again, slightly bigger, this one. And I'm going to put some nice dark green. So I mix dark green with a sort of purple. And then start up here and come down. Or start down here and come up. There we are. We can put embellishments on these afterwards to make them more interesting, but that's a lovely, strong graphic sort of contrast there. Just make that one really big and going over. Okie dokie. Okay, so let's carry on with some more stems. Let's do some, let's do one here, something with a nice thin stem. Something like that, and we'll put one coming across there like that. And sometimes you don't really want green. Sometimes it's quite nice to have something that's a little bit different from green. Make this taller and maybe take it out to the side a bit. And then I'm going to try to do some little leaves in a dark green. So we just press them down like that. Let the brush do the work. Change the colour a bit. There we are. It's quite nice to have red leaves, I think. Kind of ties in with this plant here. Make this a bit taller. There we are, so that's that. And then try and make this green a little bit more liquidy. And what am I going to do here? I think I'm going to do a big stem coming up. It's all a bit bold. I'm going to put some dark red one side just to make that nice and dark. And then this is going to be a big fat-leaved, what do they call this? A rubber plant, that's it. I'm copying the rubber plant in front of me. Big, dark, green leaves, green and red. They really are a sort of very striking colour. This is one of those paintings where you think, when it's finished, you're either going to go, oh my God, or, oh well, you know. But it'll have to dry. It's quite nice to put the paint over what you've painted underneath. And don't worry too much about reality, about realism. Just go with the pleasure of the paint. And it's got, my one has got a sort of thin leaf at the top going up there like that. I don't know if I want another one down. I don't think so, because we have to have one coming up here in the front, don't we? And what am I going to do in the front there? I have a bluish toned thing growing, which comes up with a stalk like that, and it's got little leaves at the side, different sizes, and then it's got sort of, I don't know, something like that. Something like that. And then I've got over here, we have a cactus. Something like that. I've got something in every pot. I think I have. Might just drop a few bits of red in the back here just to strengthen some of those areas a little bit. And then we need a light grey, I think, for the floor, the table, or whatever it is. So we'll just pick up some of this conveniently mixed light grey. Keep that the same level all the way over. Don't want that to vary, because then it would look like you were on a hill. And putting in something for it to stand on does actually pull the whole thing together quite a bit. So it looks a bit more finished. I have to be a bit careful here because I don't think that's quite dry. So we'll just do that like that for the minute. There we are. And, oops, I touched that there. Hopefully I'll be able to take that off using a piece of paper towel. It's very easy to do, to make a mistake and touch. But when that's dry, I'll be able to correct that. And because this is multimedia, I keep wanting to call it, Tamsin said to me, it's not multimedia, Mother, it's mixed media. Oh yeah, mixed media. So there we are. Right, that's that then. I'm going to set that aside, let it dry, and then come back for the final finishing touches, which will be some decorative marks on some of these larger leaves. Okay, last step. I have got a Poetique brush, watercolor brush pen here, and this is a dark green, and I'm just going to outline partly some of these leaves here just to make them stand out a bit better. Maybe add one or two if I feel one or two need to be added. And you could call this possibly a rescue operation because it didn't quite go the way I had intended, but never mind, because I quite like the idea of doing this, and that's fine. You can add veins down the centre of the leaves with this brush if you want. It works really well. And before you know it, it's fine. Okay, so that's one of the things that's really good about these brushes. These water brushes, they are very good like that for that kind of thing. And if you go over more than once, you get it nice and dark. So, there we are. And here on the cactus, the same thing. You can use this to do the little spiky bits, hairs, which always catch you out, and dots if you want all over. So that works really well too for that. And you can make the one behind a little bit darker or whatever you want to do. I'm not an expert on cactus. It's not something I'm very familiar with. But so, although the way the weather's going here, we'll be having it before long. We're talking about planting palm trees. And I'm just going to put some veins along these plants' leaves here. Just same colour green, but it looks different when it's on a different background. Like that. And this one, I might put some white on this because I think it's already dark. And it has, in the real life, got light lines, so we'll just do that. This one seems to be growing out of nowhere. I'll kind of bring that down here a bit. And you can use this to straighten out any of your unsatisfactory painted lines if you want. You don't have to ever give up. And these lines makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. Then, of course, you can do the same thing on your plant pot. You could do little dots on here. Embellish the pot a little bit like that. Same here. Whatever you feel. And if you wanted, you could turn these into spirals, or some of them. I think that's quite nice. Like that. This one, I've just scratched out the thick paint that I put on there to make nice chunky lines there. And we could put some veins in the middle of these, if you want. Like that. Don't worry about that. And what else? I think we're getting close to enough. Put some white ones on these cactuses. You could carry on with this forever, couldn't you, really? This one here could have a little bit more variation in its colours. You could add some more little leaves with the pen. It really is a huge advantage to have a set of these. Just choose whatever colour you think is going to enhance what you're doing. And away you go. And then the white pen, you can sharpen up this design on here if you want. And yeah, so there we are. I think that'll do for now. And have a play. You'll enjoy it, I'm sure. I certainly did. That was really good. And yeah, I'll see you soon for the next thing. So bye now, everybody. Bye-bye for now.